Shout out to Heavy Bag Boxing. It's the one and only Blair the Flair. Woo!
You too.
Now that's diabolical.
Diabolical. What up, YouTube? Big T.O. Heavy Bad Boxing TV. Man, if you don't get your goof ass in here and hit the bag. If you catch me for the first time, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the little bell, make sure it's black. So when I drop, man, just come hang out with your boy for a few minutes. That's all I want, couple minutes. All right, bad news, in my opinion, bad news. And I believe it's going to be bad news for a lot of people. Jaron Ennis will be fighting Karen Shakan. That's how I pronounce it. I don't know how you pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced several different ways. But I say Shakan because that's the way they was pronouncing it the night of the fight. I watched Boots fight Shakan. That's how the announcers were pronouncing it. So I figured, hey, they did these fighters interviews. Maybe they asked him, how do you pronounce it? And that's what he said. But we've seen this fight before. I still can't even believe the IBF is ordering it. But if you're going by the book, Shakan's there. He deserves his shot. But these guys, already met in the ring before Jaron Ennis was the actual IBF champion. Now, listen, a week ago, we were all clamoring over the idea and we felt like we were very, very close given the negotiations that went public between Team Norman and Team Ennis, right? Excited about that fight, excited that we potentially was getting two of whom we think are the very best that 147 has to offer, right? Because listen, make no mistake about it, the stars have moved out of 47. There are no longer any extremely big names, and you want to clear the smoke even more, right? You want someone to emerge in that division as the guy or the guys. And right now, you can't really get that clarity between these four champions because you just truly don't know who's pretenders and who's the real deal, right? And we was going to get some of those questions answered with a unification between Brian Norman and Jaron Ennis. We were all in hope for that, right? And shout out Team Norman. I know a lot of people hating on them. I feel like they ducked this fight. They stuck to their guns. I still blame Eddie. Again, when Boots Ennis, and just hear me out, y'all, when Boots Ennis made the decision to bypass all of the other offers he was probably getting with promotional companies to go with Eddie Hearn, Eddie was telling Boots, yo, I'm going to get you these fights. And he has not delivered, right? This was Eddie's opportunity to at least get Boots a fight that he wanted. He explained to us that he wanted to become undisputed at 47. And the only way to do so was to get these other champions in the ring. And Eddie failed to do so, right? He's fought David Enis. That's the best so far that Eddie Hearn has been able to do.
Hey, bro,
never in a million years did Jaron Ennis think that he would ever fight Karen Shakan again, especially signing with Eddie Hearn. So instead of complaining about the 2 million or 2.2 million Brian Norman wanted, Eddie should have viewed it as an investment in Boots. You went out of your way to vet Boots and get him and sign him. You got to come up with these fights. And now, even more bad news, Boots isn't moving to 54. He's staying put, going back to Philly and fighting Karen Shakan again, a fight that many don't want to see. Now, I think it was a little selling point in the David Enis fight to have that back in Philly because it was a common opponent, of course, with Bud Crawford, right? So you can always pull out your measuring stick and have your pros and cons there, that argument. But this is somebody we've already seen. This is somebody a lot of people felt like Boots didn't look great against. Even though, in my opinion, Cameron ran around the ring so goddamn much and was in pure survival mode from the first bell. I couldn't blame Boots. You know, if you go back and watch that fight, Boots tried to bring it to him, had a tough time cutting off the ring, and you can only blame him for that. Maybe this time around is different, but you just don't feel like, especially given Cameron's style, that this is going to be an exciting fight. I don't think he's going to open up against somehow, some way, open up against Jaron Boots Ennis the second time around. It will be in Philly. How well will it do? We don't know. I like to think that Boots is a draw in his hometown. He's been hyped up for a minute now, so I don't see much changing as far as the ticket sales do there. I think it was smart, even though Karen's promotional company won the purse bid to have it back in Philly versus there was rumors that it could have been overseas. It's best to have it where it's going to sell. But man, listen, bad news. No 54 for Boots. And he's right back where he started. Matter of fact, instead of taking a step forward, he's actually taking a step back and fighting Karen Shakan again. Definitely want to know y'all's thoughts in the comment section. I just can't fucking believe it. Eddie fails to deliver. That's the narrative I'm running with. You tell me the narrative you running with. All right, Big T.O. Heavy Bag. You know who I got, man. Talk to him, Roger.
Most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing.